knows why you're trying to ban masks, costumes, and props, even though it's unconstitutional to do that. At previous meetings, members of the public mocked the council by showing up with masks, costumes, and props.
Hands up, give me a light. Pack up my headpiece.
Disability rights are human rights, and I'm going to make sure you never forget this. You ready? Okay. Disability rights are human rights.
And if you remove Patrick Duff, he will sue the mighty balls off this city.
Welcome, truth seekers. I am Leroy Truth for Leroy Truth Investigations. I am Leroy Truth for Leroy Truth Investigations because the truth matters. Now, if you are not completely outraged and livid and screaming for accountability of these so-called government officials, you have no blood running through your veins. What you see right here is you see a man who came to an Edison, New Jersey public council meeting presided over by allegedly corrupt mayor and alleged sexual assaulter, Mayor Sam JOSHI. This man who you see simply brought a flag with him as he is speaking during his allotted public meeting speaking time, and he is threatened with contempt of freedom, with contempt of the mayors and the decorum rules on you can't bring costumes or symbols or masks to a public meeting. Ladies and gentlemen, there is something called, maybe you've heard of it. They sure as hell haven't, or if they have, they hate it, which that's really the case. It's called the First Amendment. That they have an armed soldier presence of the personal police who are all too happy to remove this man under threat of arrest for bringing a flag as a symbol of freedom and First Amendment protected speech. And he is being escorted under threat of arrest by these scumbags here. They're blurry at first because it's hard to even imagine this. Let's bring him into focus here. So watch this. This is going to make your blood absolutely boil. And if you want to peacefully address the non-government, the dictatorship government of Mayor Sam JOSHI, allegedly very corrupt, allegedly a sexual assaulter, which I will be releasing information on that shortly as well. This is disgusting.
Joel Bassoff, 17 Beach Lane.
Your witness.
So if the council adopts ordinance 2239 attempting to control decorum, the council will have adopted an unconstitutional ordinance. Your effort to ban costumes, non-medical masks, and props violates the free speech guarantee of the First Amendment to the U.S. Constitution. The public knows why you're trying to ban the masks, costumes,
Can I clarify that statement, legal?
It's his time.
It is incomplete.
Well, don't take my time for it.
Okay.
All right. The public knows why you're trying to ban masks, costumes, and props, even though it's unconstitutional to do that. At previous meetings, members of the public mocked the council by showing up with masks, costumes, and props. You don't like being embarrassed, so you're trying to ban the people who humiliate you. But the best way to avoid humiliation is to stop doing stupid things like trying to clamp down on constitutionally protected symbolic speech. The more you try to suppress constitutional rights to free speech, the more vigorously the public is going to fight back.
This is an important point. The more they attempt to suppress our free speech, the more vigorously we, the people, will fight back against that. That's why we live in America. That's why we have the Constitution, which is, remember, ladies and gentlemen, this Constitution doesn't grant us rights. It's supposed to assure that the government, Sam JOSHI and his ilk, his unlawful minions, that they protect our rights. It's supposed to guarantee that they will make sure that our constitutional rights, our human rights, are not violated, which includes free speech and redressing the government and bringing symbols if we want to, and costumes and flags.
And if you get sued, you will lose. Now, you adopted an ordinance to cut public speakers back from 6 minutes to 4 minutes. That means to get our ideas across, we're going to have to speak at least 33% more efficiently. They say that a picture is worth 1,000 words. So to illustrate why this ordinance 2239 is wrong, I'm holding up an American flag to represent the constitutional values that
I'm
we
going to
should
have
be
to give you a
loyal
warning. If you continue, I will have to forfeit. You'll have to forfeit your time.
to. Well,
Now, I want you to understand, ladies and gentlemen, this is not taking place in Russia or North Korea or Iran or Iraq. This is not taking place in Afghanistan. This is taking place in an American city in the United States of America. And this guy here, I think this is Nitesh Patel, maybe his name is blurry there, he is demanding that the speaker put away the American flag while he's at an American meeting in an American city. Otherwise, he will relinquish his time. And if he doesn't relinquish his time, give up his free speech, censor him for holding the American flag, he will be removed. And if he doesn't leave willingly, he will be arrested. We have to fight against this vigorously, peacefully, within the law, always. Redressing the government, using our First Amendment and our voting rights as well.
Sir, forfeit your time.
it's my constitution, it's my constitutional right to do this.
You didn't
If you get sued, you will lose. My suggestion to you is that you get a second opinion from competent counsel because you are wrong. You are interfering with the content of this meeting by interfering with the right to speech of a member of the public. You're the right to freedom of speech, and it should stop now. I'd like to continue.
He just called the police officers, to stop him. Let's see what they do. Are they going to honor and respect their oath to protecting our constitutional rights in Edison, New Jersey? Or are they going to be the personal police squadron of Mayor JOSHI and the council in Edison, New Jersey? Let's see.
They didn't pass the law yet.
Bingo. Order followers. They are not like the good police officers in Union City, New Jersey, who have refused to arrest me while I was speaking, except for the scumbag Omar Hernandez and Fernando Muro.
If he doesn't sit down,
This is an arbitrary capricious
his time is
and it
forfeited.
violates the law.
You just said your time is forfeited, and the cops are moving in there. They needed to say, excuse me, Councilman Nitesh Patel, whoever else is there, we will not touch a hair on this man's head. In fact, I will stand by him to protect him from all of you, Sam JOSHI, the mayor, and the council people, to assure that his constitutional rights of free speech are honored, respected, and protected by us. That's what these cops should have done. Not to move in there like mindless leptons. Hey, I'm just following orders. I'm just following orders. These are not good police officers. Stand up to unlawful directives and constitutional violations. Be constitutional guardians, not constitutional violators, like these councilmen and Mayor Sam JOSHI being.
Your time should be forfeited. Your position should be forfeited. By your actions, you forfeited your right to preside over this meeting.
Please have it removed. That's not okay.
Police, stop! Anyone thinks these are good police officers? I am curious. Put it in the comments. The police officers take an oath to protect our constitutional rights, period. It doesn't get suspended because a mayor or a councilman or a councilwoman tells them to suspend their oath to protecting our constitutional rights. Doesn't happen. They are violators now. They are breaking the law. And they are shredding our civil rights. This is wrong. I want to find out who these cops' names are, and I want to investigate them as well. If they would have stood up for this gentleman's rights, they would have been the most famous police officers in the country. And unfortunately, yes, they'd probably be unemployed the next day. But that has everything to do with the current culture of policing in most places. Not all. But again, I want to underline Union City Police. They have 99% of them have protected my civil rights, my constitutional rights. Let's continue.
Shame on you.
Shame on you. Shame on you, all of you.
Officer, you can have him removed.
Blurry fascists.
Mr. Bassoff, you continued after your time was forfeited. You continued after the officers told you to sit down. You continued after the council president repeatedly asked you to stop.
So let's see. Nishith Patel is to the left, and that's the township attorney. The township attorney, you're doing this, you need to do this. Keep your mouth shut. Don't you know the Constitution and the First Amendment? You need to be disbarred immediately. I'm going to investigate you and see what is in your past and how much money you've given to all of these members here, including Mayor Sam JOSHI. This is insane. Criminal.
Has to be removed from the chambers. So
There's no reason for...
He has no right, the freaking attorney. This is dictatorship gone wild. Remember Girls Gone Wild? Crazy videos they had a few years ago. This is dictatorship gone wild.
From the chambers because I am not interfering with you tomorrow. I'm ready. Excuse me. I'm ready to sit here quietly, and I will not interfere with your decorum. So I have a right to be here.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor? All right, this council meeting has been recessed for 5 minutes. We'll be back at 7:24.
They couldn't take it. They couldn't take freedom and being called on their garbage, and so they take a recess. Meanwhile, the police are on like a snowball going down a mountain. They're on automatic pilot now. Stop. You can change your mind anytime, police officers, and say to ourselves, what the hell are we doing? We are violating our oath to the Constitution and violating this gentleman's rights. We're not going to do that. Stop. You could stop at any point. You never should have started, but you can stop. You are not on this infinite, I must continue down this path of constitutional violations.
Are you ejecting him from the meeting? Officers, are you ejecting him from the meeting?
I think that's Christo. And you can see he seems to be very uncomfortable. Well, just speak up. Speak up, man. Speak up. This man is free. Get back in that meeting right now. I'm going to protect you from them, the mayor and the council people.
Why are you making him leave the building?
So not only has he been ejected from the meeting, they are ejecting him from the building. He has broken no laws. Look at these cops. They are why people are livid about policing in America. All it takes is, as Nancy Reagan used to say in regards to the initial war on drugs, or doing drugs, just say no. That's going to be my new mantra with the good police officers in our country. Just say no. And if you don't just say no, then you are not a good police officer. Period. I will support, and the entire community that I am part of will support every good police officer. And if you get fired, we will help to find you a new job. Because you will be a hero to the Constitution. Not to the mayors or the councilmen, maybe to your chief of police, but you will be a hero to the Constitution and a hero to we the people. And I will celebrate every single instance a police officer does that on my channel. And if you have examples of that, send me the videos, send me the stories, contact me confidentially, police officers throughout the country. And let's start talking about this and how we can take our country back from the constitutional violators like Mayor Sam JOSHI, the town attorney there, and the other ilk masquerading as our elected officials.
That's a good question. Why do I have to leave the building? I'm not trespassing.
Council president's not in charge of the rest of the building.
The building at this point.
Council president doesn't run the building. Council president's not in charge of the building.
You should check with the business administrator because he's in charge of the facilities.
Look at all these police officers that are attempting to get him out of the building. This is insane for a man who broke no law. Instead, he stands up to the breaking of the ultimate law, the Constitution.
Give people their time, let them work.
Chief,
Whatever they want to wear.
Chief, a resident wants to speak to you.
Move on. It is a waste of taxpayer time. It is a waste of your time.
So they won't do anything by it. He's in charge of duty. He runs the meeting. He runs duty. Yeah, you have to follow constitutional rules. I can't be. I don't have the quorum. Right.
And the Chief Butt Snipe here, he is attempting to justify the rules of decorum. The rules of decorum shred the Constitution. And any rule, policy, or law that is in violation of the Constitution is instantly, immediately null and void, because policy does not create or does not carry the weight of law. Policy does not have the force of law. And if you break policy, you are not breaking the law, period.
But I don't want to separate you and Iowa, but I'm not violating the rules of decorum. He made his determination before. So if it wasn't you, it was somebody else. You have to follow through. You have to, but you have to think of the warning. He did. He did. Right, and I sat down. Listen. He gave a warning, and I sat down. No, he said he wanted you removed. So, we're in a tough position. Well, he wanted that, but he doesn't have the right to want that. He's exceeding the bounds of his authority, and he's putting you in a very... He's putting all of us.
No, he doesn't put you in an awkward position. This is your stress test, Chief of Edison, New Jersey. This is your stress test. All the police officers here. This is where the rubber meets the road. Will you protect our rights or won't you? There's no dialogue has to happen. The Constitution is the highest law of the land. No dialogue, no justification can occur that will make what this chief and what these police officers are doing right toward this man who broke no law.
But you know how I feel about it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't want to sit here. No, why don't we bring her out? All right, bring her out.
Council meeting?
Do you want to bring her? Yeah. Just come over and get my stuff.
Whoa. He did something here. Whoa. He is bringing this guy back in. So I stand corrected. I hadn't watched this all the way through. He's bringing him in here. Let's see what happens.
America the Beautiful, we still have a right to speak, and no one should silence us or tell us how long we can talk. And I know one thing, I respect this flag. Many people died for this flag, for this country, and I got to say one more thing. The last election, you saw what happened. Don't think you can't all be replaced, because when the next election comes, we'll be out.
Well, they're making him leave again? I stand uncorrected. He went back in to get his stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, I am outraged. I think you probably are as well. If you'd like to peacefully redress the government, peacefully, always peacefully, through legal means, then I'll leave the numbers here for Mayor Sam JOSHI, current dictator of Edison, New Jersey, and any other numbers here that are important. And you have a right to redress this government and to demand the ouster of every single one of those. They need to forfeit the rest of their time in office as they made this man forfeit his time speaking during a constitutionally protected activity. I'm Leroy Truth for Leroy Truth Investigations. We will never stop until every single municipality, village, city, town in America respects we the people, serves we the people, and doesn't violate our rights, as Sam JOSHI, the mayor, and the council people are doing in Edison, New Jersey. Stay tuned for much more.